that I'm going to show you some matrix energetics, and we're going to use something called matrix energetics. If you haven't heard of it, it's just pure magic. It's pure magic and instantaneous stuff that changes. So what you can do is I like to test your physical body and see what you notice, because it's like if your neck motion changes, if your shoulders change, if you stand up and bend backwards or bend forwards or walk around before and then check afterwards, you can notice what's different. So I encourage you to do that, because if something were to change for you today, would you notice? And if it, because you could totally miss an absolute miracle. I've seen stuff where somebody wanted their knee pain to go away so they could run. I did a session, their knee pain went away, but they're like, well, it went away right now. I called them 2 weeks later to see how it's going. And they said, not much change, it's about the same. And I said, so how's the knees? And they're like, oh yeah, they don't hurt. And oh yeah, I'm running. And they totally missed it. So it's like kind of crazy what you can miss. The thing you actually ask for can be right done for you. So one thing that we like, I'm a physical therapist, I like to test quote unquote real things. So I encourage you to check your neck, check your shoulders, check your back. When you walk around, notice how tall you are. You might even look in the mirror, because you'll look different after this. And there's a reason for that. But you can just notice what you notice what's different. And then I'm gonna start today with a story, just to let you in, because we have some new people here, so welcome, and to let you know about my world and what I've seen, and so you could possibly open up your mind or ideas around like what might be possible. So first, and then in an hour, Katie McIntyre, love Katie McIntyre, love Katie McIntyre, my business success coach, amazing person, highest integrity. She's going to be joining us, and the idea is going to be like, if you have a business or you're got something going on that you want to do, where are you at right now? What's your desired outcome? Like, what would you like? And what do you see as the roadblocks? And she'll give you stuff to really just go do. So you have stuff to do in the physical world, go do it for the week, and then she'll be back next week and see how is it going and do the next step. So it's going to be step by step, one-on-one. You just raise your hand when she's on and tell her what's going on, and then she'll help us out. So I'm super excited about that. But first, a story, because it's just so cool. And it showed up this morning as I was doing my morning meditation and what I do to get ready for this session. And I thought, I think this is the way we're going to do this. So I've got this thing, and if you don't believe in magic, it's okay. And if it scares you, don't worry about it. It's not scary. It won't hurt you. And if you're Christian or Buddhist or Hindu or some religion, and you think, oh, this is not good, it just relax. It's okay. It's not so scary. But I'm gonna tell a story about something that happened to me years ago and changed my whole world. And so I've got this little wand, the Elder Wand from Harry Potter. And when I had my I had a clinic in San Diego years ago, from 1992 to 2013, and had therapists working for me, 5 therapists, and had a student reach out from Mississippi that said, hey, I want to come do my last physical therapy internship, 8 weeks with you in your clinic in San Diego. And I was like, okay, cool. We've had other students from LA and other places. And so we did the paperwork. She came in, and I was using purely what's called matrix energetics at the time, because I just had so many miracles, and that's what I was doing. And I knew I didn't want to teach her in a way. You can't teach this stuff in the regular ways. So you can't just tell somebody how to quote unquote do it. So I knew if she hung out with me enough, she would get it. And I also knew at the time, Richard Bartlett was still teaching it in the big seminars. So she was signed up to take matrix energetics in Chicago about 2 or 3 or some weeks later after she started with me. But so when she was with me, we would test ranges of motion, and clients were coming in with all sorts of chronic and other conditions, medical conditions, also chronic pain conditions, other stuff, and we would test stuff, and then we would I would use this matrix energetics stuff, and then we would retest stuff right then in the clinic, and they were better. Their shoulders were better, their necks were better, they were walking better, medical conditions were going away, and we were getting people coming back, saying really interesting things like, oh, I'm so glad I had my shoulder pain. And I'm like, why? It's like, well, my husband doesn't yell at me anymore. It's like, but I haven't worked on your husband. It's like, I know, but he doesn't yell at me anymore. So all sorts of stuff started changing in people's worlds, all sorts of stuff. And so we're going along, and my student, she was really cool, but my student, I could tell she was getting it because I can feel it. And so at one point, we were working with my office manager's brother. He was a client. We were working with him, and it felt really big. And we were coming to the next client, next patient. We called them patients at the time. And I said, hey, remember how, her name was Elizabeth. Remember how you felt when we were with Susan's brother? And she goes, yeah. I said, do that. And so she went, and she just went to that feeling. And we rechecked my client, and my client was better. And so I knew she was already getting this way of playing, this magic way of playing. And let me just change the setting so I can see everybody, even if they don't have the video on. And so then she took matrix energetics, and she came back, and the next 5 weeks or so was just pure play. We're testing people, we're doing this crazy stuff, we're retesting people, magic was happening everywhere. And on her last week, she gave me this elder wand from Matrix Energetics, from Harry Potter. And she's, with a smile, she said, Ralph, you have ruined me for physical therapy. And she was smiling, and I knew it was like funny. And she goes, I think I want to tell you the story of what I think happened. And I said, sure, tell me the story. She said, she said, I think I know why I came here. She says, when she was in Mississippi, her brother had graduated from chiropractic school, and he had a terrible accident, had burned his hands severely. And they were talking about amputating fingers, and they were destroyed, and he wasn't going to be able to like be a chiropractor and all this stuff. And he magically, unexpectedly just healed. Can't even tell, his hands are normal. And she says, I think what happened was I came to your clinic, I time traveled back, he healed, and so I had to come see you in person. And I'm like, she came to me as a regular person going to physical therapy school, and she gave me this magic wand. And so that's only one story of many, 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 many stories I've seen that are out of control. And you might be thinking, well, how could that be? That seems impossible. Yeah, I don't know, but it's my experience that we're in a much more magical world than we think. And it's like the ancient yogis used to say, that the rules of the universe might be more like suggestions, and you might have a little bit more control. Or like Jesus said, don't you know you are a God and the Holy Spirit resides within you? And so there's all sorts of teachers from the past that have these things that they say. And now quantum physics has this stuff. They just won the Nobel Prize, where they found out that, yeah, it's like nothing in the universe appears to be absolutely real. It's more like infinite possibilities. So they're talking about the atoms, and they're talking about the protons, the stuff that we're made out of, and they're saying it doesn't appear to be absolutely real. It just appears to be a possibility of infinite possibilities. And so it's like, spiritual ideas, but now how do we use it? So I'm going to do something for all of us right now, and then we're going to do a process where you can start to use very, very powerful technology to help you get what you want in life. So I'm going to, what you can do right now is just, I'll ask a question, and just go in your mind's eye and imagine what this might be for you. If something were to be done for you today, what might that be? Okay. Now there's, I'm going to do it this way because it's just fun. I love this. Oh, and Kenton is joining. I'm going to tell Kenton to activate this. So you guys just hang out there for a bit. As Kenton loads on. Okay. Okay, Kenton. So we just did this, and I'm going to activate it for you. Just go to the feeling. Just think about, here's the question. If something were to be done for you today, what might that be? Click. Certainly. And here goes. Everything you want. And in a bit, I'm going to show you how to activate that yourself whenever you want. It's already in place, but it'll be cool to have a way to play with this. So I'll show you in a bit, because I want to do some stuff with you guys first. Yeah, now, one of the cool things about being here right now is we have some people on the call that have been doing this sort of thing for the last almost 2 years now. Some of people every day. So there's a lot of access to that infinite here right now for you. And so everybody that's been with me, you're already doing it, I know. I can feel it. Just let go and do what we do. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now what we're going to do is there's another process that makes it very easy to do, very reproducible. You can have a way to do a process that can clear obstacles, connect you up with your vision of what you want. So the way this works now is you can go and electronically raise your hand and or just unmute yourself or just wave at me. And what we'll do is I work with one person at a time, and we'll go like, okay, what would you like? You know, what's going on? What would you like? What's in the way? What's giving you a lot of problems? Where's your obstacles? Is something really bugging you? And we'll go clear some stuff. And I'm going to guide you through a process that's different than what we just did, but also takes us to the same kind of instant miracle place. And